There we go. See how much light. There we go. There we go. Let me go ahead and send it to him. All right. About to turn this light on. Let me see. Let me see. Yes, sir. My God.
What's up, man?
What's up, bro? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, good, good. I'm trying to get this thing situated. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Is it echoing or not? Nothing?
No, sounds good, man.
Okay, for sure, for sure, for sure. All right. So we doing a little different today. You feel me? Today, we typically do it on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. But today we just doing it on Instagram. For episode number 48. We got my special guest,
48.
brother.
Wow.
No, yeah, that shit. Hey, that's a lucky number right there. That's a lucky number.
Good,
That was
good.
my That's ironic. That was my football number.
Really? That's wild.
That so this is gonna be a great episode. For
That's awesome.
episode number 48, we got my brother, two-time arena champion, right? One time, what is it called? State champion.
Yeah.
State champion, yes, sir. We got my brother Jackson Brassfield. What's going on, bro?
What's up, man? How are you?
Man, I'm good, excited, super excited. How are you doing?
Good, man. Just been living the dream, I guess. I don't know.
How your weekend going so far?
Good, man. We're just we've been taking a break from racing, so it's been a little bit. It's been nice, just been chilling out, and just enjoying the break a little bit. But
Feel good, don't it?
yeah, man. I mean, especially with all the racing we've been doing, man, it's definitely nice to take a little break and I guess just enjoy life a little bit more. I mean, like it's just it gets to where it's a lot. You know, you can go on every
Mhm.
weekend. You know, you're gone for not it's not just the weekend. You know, you got to leave on the Thursday of that week, and then it's like, dude, if it's back to back weekends, I mean, only you get 2 days at home sometimes. So and sometimes we're
Mhm.
stuck out on the road. So you get like an off weekend, you definitely enjoy it for sure.
Who? So who are you? What are you doing? Where you from? We gonna dive in.
Yeah, man. I'm Jackson Brassfield. I'm from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. I race motocross, arena cross. Play a little bit of country music, a little bit. uh, and yeah, man. I'm pretty normal dude. I don't even know.
And ain't nothing wrong with it at all. And the fact that you're going through the process, the journey, like you're learning, so you're doing so much. You're doing so much within that process. What do you like about racing? Like as you're racing, what do you think? What are you feeling? What's that type of emotion as you're racing?
I mean, obviously, I started when I rode my first dirt bike when I was 2 years old, and that was I mean that you kind of start that young. You don't really know what it is yet, but as I get older, I mean, I realize like I guess I continue to grow a more and more love for it just because I mean, dude, you don't win a lot, so that drive to win is definitely like it's there, like
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't happen, like not there's not a single guy on that line that's gonna win every single weekend. And I think knowing that, like like yo, dude, like every single time I get on the bike, it's like that's the goal. And sometimes that doesn't happen. So it's just like I feel like that's what, in my opinion, that's what pushes moto dudes and just life in general is like losing and then just coming back. Like constantly just like because it's not like a UFC fight. It's not like you just train for. Sometimes these dudes train for half a year just for one fight. It's like, dude, we got races every single weekend, and so like just bouncing back is the biggest thing. I love that feeling. I love the drive that you get from that stuff. So
And I love the fact that you said that we're not gonna win everything. Like as you're racing and doing all your racing and stuff, you're not gonna win every single race that you have. You
right,
see, in life, I came to a conclusion. So when I played football, my junior year, we won 3 games but lost 7. Yet them 3 games that we won was like meaningful. And then my senior year, it was the same record, but we won our first 3 games. A lot of people that don't understand that a lot has to go into winning, to working as a team, to getting the fundamentals right. It's because if one person mess something up at the same time, they can ruin the whole thing for the team. But see, the racing is only just individually. So you're constantly in your head trying to figure out what I need to do in order to get to the next phase. When you won your two champions, I'm sorry, what is called the
Okay.
champions.
Yeah.
When you won your first one, let's go with the first one. You won the first one. How was that feeling?
Um, dude, honestly, like you get to where so in the arena cross, it's a points game. So you have about 14 rounds, and I would say I'd say about 7 of those rounds, or maybe more, maybe 10 of those rounds are back to back to back, weekend to weekend. Like I mean, you're literally. I remember there's sometimes that we're stuck out on the road. I mean, we were all the way in North Carolina, and we had to, like last year we were in North Carolina, we had to drive all the way to Reno, and we didn't even get to come home. I mean, this was like so doing that, and then like so to finally like at the end of all of it, it's like I guess rewarding, I guess, to have like a championship or like even just that's why like trophies are a big deal too. Like it's like at least it's something to look at. You know what I mean? It's like wow, like okay, this it paid off. Like you bust your butt all year long pretty much, and then it finally pays off. So yeah, I mean it definitely feels surreal, I guess. Like when even just winning a race in general, for sure. But
And the reason why I asked that is because as we're in the grind, as we're in the process, as we're going through life, we forget about everything that we just endured, right? The hardships, the pain, the difficulties, the times when we just want to give up because it happens. Don't get me wrong. When I'm going through my journey, man, Jackson, when I tell you, bro, I want to quit so many times, but I know the end goal is to build something more. So I can't quit, but yet at the same time, don't get me wrong. I be having them feelings. I be having them desires to stop doing what I'm doing. But at the same time, as things are happening, like as the rewards are coming in, people are saying what you're doing is positive. It's like it's really, really meaningful. Really meaningful. That trophy is a trophy, but it's meaningful because of everything that you
it,
had to put in.
definitely is. Yeah, I mean, for sure. It means a lot. You put in enough time, I think, in anything, it's just that little bit of rewarding. I mean, it means so much more to you, I guess, more or less than anybody else. Everybody else looks at it, they're kind of like, oh, dude, like, it's not a big deal. Like, man, dude, like in that championship that I won in the arena cross, when I won that, I actually broke my collarbone in the middle of the season. Had to pretty much convince my dad that I can ride with it broken. And so rode or went and got it fixed and then rode the rest of the season with a broken collar or with a freshly done collarbone just against doctor's orders. So it's like I like that was one thing I've always like my dad's raised me to like, I mean, my dad, like
Mm-hmm.
don't quit. I mean, like I think his number one word is improvise, adapt, and overcome, which I'm sure you've heard that a million times, but like so like that mindset has been stuck in me forever. So like the quit factor has never been there for sure. And I feel like if you can get like that in whatever you're doing, if you have that like that drive, I mean, you're definitely you're in the right path for sure.
I agree. I agree. Was that back in April or April time frame when y'all had did that podcast back in Texas?
That was when I
Of
was hurt.
2021.
I was hurt when you saw me. I did have a shoulder injury. That was one of I think I've broke this collarbone 4 times and this one 3 times. So I'm sure I know it was the right one. I think actually that was from a race in that was actually the mini that was that I crashed with that. So that was
Mm-hmm.
not the injury, but still a shoulder injury. That was a full the one when you met me. I had
A
uh,
cast on.
yeah, they had
Yeah.
what did I do? I think I tore my shoulder out, and then I just was in a sling or something. But so I've
How
had a lot
many?
of injuries.
7? That's a lot.
Yeah,
7, but yet you're still pushing on. You're still going. You're still actually seeing the end goal. What is the biggest thing that you have learned about yourself facing these injuries, facing these hardships, and actually facing the adversity? What's the biggest thing that you need to learn about yourself?
that I learned about myself. Um, I don't know. Crap. I guess that I learned. I mean, I guess just that it's not a one man show. I mean, like it really isn't. Like as soon as you think that it's oh dude, I'm the one that rides the dirt bike. Like, what do you mean? Like you guys don't do it? It's like nah, dude. Like without anybody, I mean, I mean, everybody knows who they are. I don't even need to name their names. It's like going from just my friends, my mechanic, to my dad, my mom, my family. It's like, dude, there's no way I would be able to do it. You know what I mean? And then like learning that, and that's what I mean by like I grow to love the sport more as I get older because I understand it a little bit more. I'm like, wow, dude, that's crazy. Like I can't I can't imagine like there's no possible way I would ever have a dirt bike without my dad. There's no way I would ever go to the gym like I do without my mom or do
Mm-hmm.
do X, Y, and Z. So it's like realizing that like I guess humbling yourself more or less, like and realizing, dude, hey, it's not just me helped me a lot. But
What made you realize it? Okay, yeah, your pop said, okay, it's not just you, but it's actually different. Like realize, okay, it's really not just me. I got my family here. I got my kids here. I got everybody that's around me that's here as a team, as a family. When did that day of realization come to you and be like, okay, it's not just by myself. I'm not by myself because I got people around me. But yeah, I'm on a bike. But if it wasn't for the people that's around me behind the scenes, I would never be doing this. When did you realize that?
um, I think I'll be honest, it hit me really, really hard this year. I My dad got sick, and
Mm-hmm.
it was the first race he had not been to, and my dad and my mom didn't come to my races, and because he was sick for I think like a week or something, and he didn't go to my race, and it was like, whoa, like I had to deal with it, like obviously, um, like I did it, like I was fine, but like it was just me, and the mechanic, and I'm like, man, dude, like who do I talk about the track with? Like who's gonna tell? Because my dad raced professional for years. My dad's a phenomenal rider to this day. So every single time I ever have a question, it's hey, dad, like what's this? And then like with my mom, it's like, hey, like she's the one that pretty much meal preps for me. She's got me lined out for the day. So I'm like, dude, what am I gonna do? And so I think that was like early of last year where he didn't show up to one of my races, and I had to do that, and it was a big race. And I think realizing that, like, holy cow, like just two people didn't show up, and it's just a total like my brain just like wanted to quit. So then I realized I remember actually sending my dad a text and saying, dude, I uh I never really realized how much you do for me until you weren't here, and
Mm.
it's crazy, like it's humbling for sure because you're like, wow, like it's not just me.
Jackson, how old are you?
I'm 17.
And the reason why I asked that is because learning doesn't stop at a particular age, right? We learn in all various ages. Because I'm 23, and like we're in the same generation, but at the same time we're still learning, we're still growing, we're still developing, we're still realizing, okay, life is life, but life doesn't have to be hard when we not dealing by ourselves. Because we have all these people that's around us. Because what I came to realize is that it's not me by myself. Let's go back to the football analogy. There's 11 people on the field. I can't play 11 positions. I
Right.
just can't. You feel me? It's too many techniques, too many assignments that you need to do. If I just focus on one and do my part when I need to do it, then the team just gonna come together and just grow together. That same concept is the same concept of life because we can't deal with this by ourselves. We cannot deal with this by ourselves. Either you're going through something, either you haven't been through something, or somebody is experienced, got more experience than you. There's always learning that can occur, but who you surround yourself with? That goes with another question. How you applying everything that your parents and your family and everybody that's around you taught you in everyday life?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, having my dad and my mom, I guess growing up, seeing like they started their business when I was or before I was born, but right before I was born, but so like seeing that, using the tools that I see from that just in life, I think that I mean that helps me a lot. I mean, just learning how to be a person and dealing with people and how to be a businessman, I guess. It helps a lot with my racing too because getting sponsors isn't easy, and going up to some big dudes and just kind of like handing my resume is nerve wracking. I mean, it's scary. I mean, that's a big deal, and they've definitely taught me how to, I guess, shake hands, talk to people, and like just understand how to talk to another person and get my way, get what I'm trying to say through. And yeah, that helped a lot. I mean, my parents have literally from day one been like that. So
One thing that Jack told me, well, he told me a lot of things, but
right,
one thing that I really remember when we did our podcast was that he said, I'm gonna mess it up. It's not gonna be verbatim, but it's gonna be like ram of it. But he said, be present all the time because you never know what can come from that.
yeah,
That simple quote. So everybody that I come encounter with, I always keep like a quote or saying or something that they say. It just embedded in me just by the conversation that we have. The fact that they're able to pour onto you, okay, like so listen, this is what you're going through, so this is what you need to do in order to overcome it. When your parents wasn't there at your race, you knew how to handle it, but which is nerve wracking because they wasn't there to tell you, okay, this is what you do. I promise up on in football, the next play is coming up. The coach know what's going to happen. It's ironic. He say the exact thing is going to happen, and this is what I need to do. Okay, boy, I need to slow down and run it then actually see how he's moving his body. Because if I don't, I can either overrun it or they can score. I do the exact same thing that they say, and I stop the play. And just that understanding, like they have the people that's around us are more knowledgeable than us, and that's okay to keep learning. We're knowledgeable, but we're not their level of knowledgeable. But we just learn in life as we keep progressing. What is the hardest thing that you had to deal with your whole journey of racing and becoming a businessman?
yeah. The hardest thing, man. I'm gonna say like losing, learning how to lose. Uh, I remember like a year ago, like literally, I did not go to the races to get second. If I got second, it was a quiet ride home, and it wasn't because of my parents. I mean, my parents were like, "Dude, you got second, dude." Like everybody around me was like, "Dude, you got third, you got fourth. Oh my gosh, like that's great." No, not for me. It was win or go home. It was like it was literally. I had the mindset of, okay, let's win. If I'm not in a winning position, I didn't even care to race. It was just like, so learning how to lose helped me so much because I mean, losing, like I said just a minute ago, losing helped me. Learning how to lose helped me win more. You know what I mean? Because then you want it more. And so, like at first, I thought like I see a lot of kids my age that I mean, there are kids that just dominate. And it's like I see them and I'm like, well, I need to be like that. And I thought that's what mindset I need, and it's definitely not the way to go. You don't want to be like that. You need to learn how to lose because once you learn how to lose, winning becomes easy. You know what I mean? And winning becomes so much nicer. Like when you do win, it's a lot bigger deal because I've lost a lot.
I agree. Well, how do you, for somebody that's not really used to to losing, for somebody that's not used to losing, what advice would you give? Okay, this is how you do it, like a step by step process. What advice would you give in order for people to start learning how to learn how to lose?
Um, I mean, I had that anger whenever I would lose back in like a year or 2 years ago. So I always dealt with it. Like now, if I lose, obviously I'm extremely sad and extremely mad, more like. But like, I think the best thing is just to keep your cool. I mean, like, and just think about, okay, think about the next event. You know, or the next, even the next race. Like if you race dirt bikes, play football, the next play. You know what I mean? Like just forget about what happened. More, you know what I mean? Like don't even. There's no reason to dwell on it. It already happened. You know, so just move on, and I guess yeah, I mean, I guess just move on. I mean, like if I get second on both my races and I'm headed home, I'm not thinking about that race anymore. You know, I forgot about it. It already happened. I got the trophy. I got the second place trophy. I'm headed home. Whatever. He beat me. You know what I mean? I'm thinking about, okay, where's the next race at? Okay, it's in Colorado. Okay, that means that that'll be the next one that I'm going for a win. You know, it's like I'm not gonna sit and be like, what if? You know, like oh,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'm be, you know, because that's what I would used to be. You know, I felt like that's the reason why I was losing is because I was still thinking about 3 weekends ago when I lost. It's like, dude, like let it go, move on.
That I love the example you just used. The next play, the next raid, the next. Because as we're in the moment, okay, we're present in the moment. As we're present in the game, we're present in the game. As we're present in the race, we're present in the race. Whatever happens, we're putting our all out, right? Because there's a competition within this race, within the field that either the better team go in or the either the better team go win. If not the better team, then it is what it is. But at the same time, how are you learning from that? How are you learning about everything that you did wrong in this game? What can you do to fix it? What can you do to actually make it better in a way to where, okay, I did this wrong. My technique right here wasn't wrong on these couple of plays. Let me work on that. Let me work on that. Let me work on that. It's constant working and actually realization. Okay, I did that wrong, so let me work on that a little bit better. It's just 1% better each and every game, each and every race, each and every day. That demeanor is hard to come around
Yeah.
because I'm learning that now, Jason. Well, relearning it now.
Right, right. Actually, what's so funny? You said 1%. So my old mechanic, uh, he used to tell me, uh, dude, where we got on a losing streak. And I used to give him crap. I was like, hey, man, we just hired you and we're on a daggum losing streak. What's going on? You know, joking with him. And he used to say something that really stuck with me. It's just 1%. You know, like there's 1%. You know, like we only have 1%. You know, you've been doing it for long enough, Jackson. Like we only have these 1%. And I didn't really understand it until one time he goes, no. I mean, like, you know, like 1% as in like, well, there's one, you need to like fix one corner or jump that one jump or do that. And it's the same thing in my opinion. Like now I see that in just like life, you know, like, okay, just 1% everywhere. You know what I mean? Because if you just piece your 1% together, I mean, by the end of the day, I mean, you've got everything put together.
You do because now it's compounding. Rather than
Right.
1% yesterday, now it's at 2%. But if you really think about it, you've been doing it for ever since you was 2 years old, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of 1% right there. You feel me? A lot of small increments right there. And then just imagine how much you're getting better because you're realizing how much you've grown.
Right.
17 years, what's that? 15 years riding?
Yeah.
That's a lot of 1%. I don't know what percent that is, but at the same time, it doesn't stop at 100%. It
Mhm.
keeps going because the more we grow, the more we experience life, the more we have to get better, the more we have to adapt and overcome, the more we have to actually realize this is what I need to do, and I'm becoming this better human being. It's constant elevation. It's constant elevation.
And I mean, I actually, I heard this famous racer one time, James Stewart, he said, there's always someone better than you know, even if you win that weekend, you might have been the best guy that weekend, but you know, like if you look at sometimes it's funny on racing, we always say the dude behind you is faster than you. Always. Just about always the dude in second is going faster than the dude in first. And it's so funny, like there's always as soon as you think, you know, okay, I'm the best there is, dude. There's always someone better than you, and that stuck with me really, you know, because I mean, like sometimes, you know, I'll be if I go to an Oklahoma race, you know, I'm
Mhm.
like sometimes there's not that much competition. I'm like, oh, you know, like I'm the best, you know, I'm best around here, you know, ain't nobody beating me. And then I mean, I'll get put in the dirt, you know, like it's like dang. Okay, so I was wrong. Should have stayed humble. So
Mhm. And that's what it needed to happen in order for you to realize, okay, yes, I'm coming here. They might not seem as good as me, but I have to remain humble. I have to
yeah,
remain humble because what I came to realize by us doing the things that we love to do, experiencing like that we want to experience, we have to remain humble. We have to remain the people that we are because if we're not, then our ego is gonna overtake us, overcome us. That same concept for the racing. How do you apply that for music? Like how do you transition that part into a new realm of life?
translation. Say that again.
How do you not translate my bad? How do you transition the learning experience from your racing to a new venture of your life, like learning music, learning how to play music?
Man, I don't even know. Gosh, those things are so totally different. That I like. I feel like when I am trying to learn music, I forget everything else. I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like I actually do that. I've tried to learn music and do music to forget about everything else. Like I think I resented my dad about playing guitar for so long. He wanted me to play guitar. I was like, no, dude, I don't want to do that. I race dirt bikes. But now that I do it, I mean, I don't know. It's so much than dirt bike. Like racing. Because I've always been, even when I used to go to public school until I think sixth grade, and I played baseball. And even in baseball, you're still competitive, right? Well, I guess I don't. I mean, I'm sure that guitar will get competitive one day for me, but as of right now, it's like it's just me. So it's like the only competitive part of it is I'm trying to better myself, and it's like I'm just trying to race at myself more or less. Like it's not like there's a. It's weird because there's not like a person. There's not 40 dudes on the gate that I look down at and see. Yeah, it's not like
Looking
okay,
right here, right here.
no, it's like it's how do I figure out how to do it? So yeah, they're two different things. It's a lot different. It's because it's not a competition. So I mean, there is competition obviously in music, but I mean, as a just playing your guitar by yourself, there's no competition to it. So it's just like it's different to me. I've never done something like that.
How are you learning to work with it instead of against it?
Um, well, that's a hard question. I don't even know. How do I learn to work with it? I don't know. I guess just have fun with it, with everything. I guess with everything you do, if you have fun with it, you're gonna succeed in it. I think that it's stupid for people to go get a job that they obviously don't want, and it's like if you would just try it that one thing, that's gonna you're gonna have fun with, or even in school too. Like people study stuff that they don't want to study. Like, man, like study what you want to do or do what you want to do and have fun with it, and it'll go way, way something that you're just not gonna have fun with. So having it definitely progresses me for sure.
And I love the fact you said love what you do. I mean, it's hard to identify what you love to do, right?
Right.
Because I came to realize everything I'm doing, I love to do it, right? I'm in due time, I'm gonna start learning how to play the piano. I got a
Yeah.
little keyboard. It's different. It's different, bro. I got a keyboard, so the keys on there is like you can press them and nothing. The sound of play, there's no type of feeling about it. I touched my first real piano, like just played the keys. I'm like, dang, like that transition is like, oh my goodness. When I pressed it, it was like, shoo. Then we press the keyboard is like, doo. You feel me? Like the difference is there. So when I start learning how to play it, I want to express myself through the music, through the
Right.
keys, through the notes, because that music is beautiful. That
Yeah.
music is beautiful. The way it can bring people together, the way you can speak the language, the way you can express yourself. Whew. With music, what are you trying to do with it? Are you trying to do it as a hobby? Are you trying to like really get good at it?
Um, I feel like if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna try it all the way. But I actually had my first show or our first little gig. It was in a bar in New Mexico, and I think that's what got me hooked. I We went to New Mexico for a race, and we ended up playing at this bar, and I'm like, dude, I look at, there was quite a few. It was a pretty packed bar, and so I mean, I get up there, and I'm probably whiter than snow, and I'm like, oh, like, dude, I'm not gonna be able to do this. So well, after I did that, when you hear people cheer and they want more, and it's like, dude, play that song. That made me like, oh, dude, I want to do this. So I'd love to do it one day. I'd love to do. My dad was a singer songwriter, so I'd love to do that. Uh, it's just it's kind of it's definitely second in what I'm doing right now. Because racing is so serious and takes all of my attention. So music is definitely secondary, but I would love if the opportunity presents itself. I definitely will take it. I just keep working with what I got, and if I ever could, I mean, I'd love to do that. I'd love to play music for people. It's a blast.
When I get good, let's play a song together. I'm gonna play the piano, you play the guitar.
I'm in. That would be awesome.
And Jack too. Jack, just
Yeah,
sing.
I don't understand how that go
You
farther
say you
than he.
understand what?
I said I don't know how that dude didn't go farther than he did. He is phenomenal. I mean, like I'll send you some of his songs whenever we get off this. I'll shoot you a text of him. He's got some cool stuff.
Yeah, he sent me his I think the last album he did, that
Yeah,
mug was pretty good. Like he was telling me about it. I'm listening to everything. You listen to the like what he's saying, the melodies, the music, the background, like everything like in sync together, and like he just really expressing himself, right?
yeah,
And real life events. You
yeah.
know, when you're feeling something and you're able to express through your music, through your words, through your dialects, it just shows like, okay, where I'm relatable. I'm vulnerable to this song because this is the way I express myself.
Right.
That's
I,
the level I want to get on. Go ahead.
no, you're good. Yeah, no, his stuff is like really cool because he's not. He can cover a lot of songs. He plays a lot of George Strait songs, Garth Brooks songs, Merle Haggard songs, John Party songs. But where he's so good is his songwriting, and if you listen to his songwriting, I mean, it's like you said, he's really expressing himself, and you see it. Like if you ever know Jack, you'd be like, oh, that's so cool. And what's cool about his music is what I like is he's trying to teach me that is you want to make a song that is relatable to a lot of people. You don't want to just target one person, or just show what you feel. It's like, can this be relatable to a lot of people? Like, there's songs out there that are like, crap. Wish Grandpas Never Die by Riley Green. That one
Mhm.
is extremely relatable to a lot of people that lost a grandpa, and like my dad targeted a lot of songs towards stuff like that. And that's why I love listening to his music. It's because it's like, man, a lot of this stuff is relatable to me and to a lot of people.
That analogy, you want to create a song that can be related to everybody. How do you apply that to your everyday life?
Um, hmm, Make it relatable. Oh man, I don't know if I apply that. I don't think I do apply that to my. I don't know. I can't. I just tough. I don't know. I don't know. I can't think.
I, while you think about it, I'll break it down. I'll answer it on
Right.
my behalf. So I'm doing content. I'm doing a lot of content, right? Past couple of months, um, what's this month? July, like April, May. Me and my wife is getting divorced. So when that happened, I went through depression. I went through a depression and put me through a phase where I ain't never been through. So now as I'm constantly doing what I'm doing, I'm realizing, okay, it hurts. Now I gotta vent. Now I got to get everything that's in my head out of me because I just need to vent. I don't know what's gonna come from it. I just know I feel like it's going to help me. What I came to realize is that that journey, that phase of life, everybody's going through some type of depression. Everybody's going through some type of life that a lot of people don't know how to handle and or control. So when I realized that, I'm like, I switched it. I switched the way I was doing content. Now I'm just talking about how can you find yourself. I'm talking about like empowerment. Like when you have depression, this is what you do. Take time to yourself. Actually, just sit back and realize this is what is wrong with me. What do I need to do in order to fix it? Right. So a lot of people forget about themselves in life and just go with the flow. And the
Right.
reason why I asked you that particular question is because your pops said make the song relatable to everybody. Everything that I'm doing is relatable to somebody because if you whenever you want to change your life or change the mindset that you have, just come to my page. It's not just about real estate. It's not just about real estate. Absolutely not. It's not just about podcasting or anything like that. It's about real life events. When people are dealing with things, we need to hear confirmation or clarification saying that it's going to be okay. I
Right.
made my first real estate video today. Well, ish. It's not my first, but it's my first in a while. I started in 2020. I was making real estate videos then, but now I made my first one with the knowledge I have and experience and confidence I have now today. And it's crazy because I was just walking. I'm looking at the apartment complexes, right? So I was like, the only thing that's moving is the cars. The only thing that's moving is the cars. This apartment complex is not moving.
Right.
Not moving. I said, I just want a piece of it. If I get a piece of it, then I'm building wealth for my family. It's a more realization that when us as human beings, we have so much limitations on ourselves because we ain't never seen anybody do it and or understand the language. That video, I posted them up today. It has over 13,000 views. It was the first time that mug ever hit like that.
It's on TikTok.
Now on Instagram,
Oh, okay, dude, that's awesome. Wow.
bro. When I seen it, I'm like,
13.
okay,
That's a lot. That's a lot of views, man.
that
That's
is a
awesome.
lot.
That's cool. That means you're reaching a lot of people.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. That's definitely cool.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Like it's just being vulnerable and relatable to people in a sense of life, right? Because anybody can own real estate. You just gotta have the right knowledge. Anybody
Hmm.
can ride a race. You just have the right knowledge and the right people, right?
Right.
It just takes time and confidence in order to say I can do this too. That's why I asked you that question. How are you? What do I say? How are you
Relatable.
demonstrating?
Do what?
Yeah, that's why I asked that question earlier.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess I always try to. I get a lot of. Well, I think everybody does. A lot of little kids will come up to you and they'll be like, just randomly, like, hey, like, what can I do? What's this? What are you doing? And it's like, there's a lot of dudes, a lot of guys that just, oh, I don't know. Just struck. I mean, I used to get that as a kid. I remember, I won't name any names, but I promise you, they know who they are because they've done it to me. When I was little, I got a lot of guys that I'd go up to that were, where I am now in racing, and they'd be like, hey, what's up, dude? I wanted to be their friend. Hey, what can I do on the track? And they would just be like, huh? Who are you, bro? I was like, oh, dude, I just think you're fast. Like, and so like, being, you know, being helpful in that, I guess in that sense, and like helping those little kids, like and just showing them like hey, I used to be here, I used to do this, and like same thing like what you're saying, like it's just a different way of like me pretty much being like, hey, like I used to be where you were, so like let me show you like, hey, I did this, when I was your age, like I when I was on a 50, I jumped these catapults. You can do it. You can do that. Trust me, your bike will make it. And it's the same thing that you're doing. I mean, same thing everybody should do. Um, yeah,
And that's powerful, yeah. Because like the reason why I asked that is because like as you're growing, people see us and want to emulate us, right? But the fact that we're so humbling in the present moment, we understand like I was there too. You feel me? Like I'm here with you. I'm not better. I'm just more experienced. That's
right,
all it is. You can do the same thing I'm doing, but are you willing to put that work in?
right.
Are
That's
you
true.
willing to have all these sleepless nights and all loans travel, right? But are you willing to do that? If you're willing to do that, just start. Just
Right.
start. How does it feel to be rested? My bad. I just interrupted you. My bad.
No, you're good. Uh, I was just gonna say that's a big thing is just to start. Like starting is first thing you do. Like Yeah, I mean, I remember when you first started, whenever me and you first met, uh, I think you sent me T-shirts that I still to this day, I don't know if those were the first ones you made or what, but you were just you text my dad and you're like, hey man, it's just a start, and like that's what you got to do. Oh, you have to start. You know, like you don't ever start. You know, I tell my brother all the time. You know, my brother's a Marine. I told him
Zipper.
that, he wants to get a work at a range. He wants to become a range instructor. He's got, dude, that dude is phenomenal at shooting, right? I mean, it's just it's unreal. And I told him, I said, dude, just start, you know, just go do it, you know, just go in there and do it. And he's like, well, man, I'm so busy. I'm like, dude, if you don't ever start, if you don't ever just go in there and do it, then
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just won't do it. I mean, you're gonna put it off, and then something really will come up, and you won't be able to one day. So, yeah, starting is a big deal, and I love seeing your stuff too because I still see, you know, I mean, this might get seen by 100 people today or 100 people in the next week or whatever, or it might get seen by 30,000 people. But you have to start, and like, because if you didn't just start, then dude, like you would just talk about it the entire time. You'd be like, I'm gonna start a podcast one day. Well, are you? I mean, are you? I mean, just do it. You know, just do it. You know, like that Nike. Is that the Nike? I think that's the Nike quote. Just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it. Why not? You know.
And that when I seen y'all, when I seen y'all set up, that was the first time I ever seen like a professional podcast, like advertised or even watch one in person. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know what y'all was talking about. I didn't even know what Moto Live was. I never heard of that. But the
Right.
fact I was y'all let us come, so I'm coming. I'm just there watching the conversation, watching your pops and you, and how y'all interacted with Alex Ray. Now both of them name was Alex Ray, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And that, like, it really blew my mind because I didn't know what I was going to do. I was talking to Jack. I was asking about the t-shirts because I had started the t-shirt, the fair use knowledge in Texas. But that was the red shirt was the second one. The first one I had was the like the tan ones. And so when I started, I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking questions. He was willing to answer. He was just putting me on game. So in my mind, I didn't know where the podcasting would come from. I didn't even think about it. I didn't even hear about it until I seen y'all. When I seen y'all, subconsciously I was thinking about it. So me and my homeboy Malik did a challenge back in October of podcasting. So I'm like, hold on, okay, this is where we going. Because what I came to realize with podcasting is more than just a platform. It's more than just a conversation. The conversation that we be having is like vulnerability, and it actually shows the growth within people.
Right.
And I'm like, that's probably what Jack and Jackson was doing. You
Right.
know, giving a people a platform in order to tell their story.
For sure. I mean, 100%. I mean, that's why we don't try and interview the top racers. You know, we're not interviewing the dudes that are winning every weekend. You know, we want to interview the dudes that are privateers that are barely making it to the race. They're winning they're going paycheck to paycheck. Because,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they're the people that I'm not saying that those big dudes don't, but like they need a platform to explain themselves and like I actually enjoy watching podcasts that are just random. You know, you'll just find someone, and I'll have no idea who the guy is, but it's crazy how much you can learn off someone that you have no idea who they are. They do a totally different thing, but if you just listen to someone's story, dude, it can seriously help you and whatever you are doing. I mean, just I ought to get a tattoo that says I like genuinely have been telling my dad I want to get a failure is knowledge tattoo because I've never heard that. I think that is such a cool wording, um, because uh, you know I don't know, like that's got to be one of my favorite quotes I've ever heard. I mean, I literally preach that all the time now that I've heard that. I wear that shirt all the time. I wear it to the track, and they're like, "Dude, that's so cool. What does that mean?" I'm like, "Failure's knowledge, man." Like, and that is kind of like what I said. I don't know, like 20 minutes ago. I said, you know, you have to learn to win. You know, and like you have to you know like fail to really have that knowledge because like you know you'd be surprised like the dudes that win all the time when they finally do lose, they don't know what to do. Because they've never had that. So there's a rider. His name's Ryder, and me and my dad were talking about it. He just moved up to pro, and he has pretty much won the amateur scene his whole life. Been racing. They made a documentary on it. He's been racing since he was 2 or 3 years old. He's won everything in sight. I've never seen that kid not win something. You know what I mean? Like, if he's not winning, it's like he should have won or he's second at these gnarly races. He's always been up there. And he moved up to the pro class and he lost. And me and my dad, were kind of like surprised. He's like, he got like 12th. And that's phenomenal. That's so good. But you got to understand, how hard that probably was for him. Yeah, a guy like me, a 12th at that race would have been like, heck yeah, dude, like I got 12. Like I got 12, 40. That's awesome, dude. But like a guy like him or other people, um, they haven't failed, so they don't know, So, and I think genuinely, like, failure is really truly knowledge. Like, it really is. I mean, how can you really know how to do something unless, like we just said, you start it or you fail at it? Because
Mm-hmm.
like my dad, we have 200 acres in Bristow, Oklahoma, which is about 45 minutes to an hour from here. I have a full outdoor track that I've built, a supercross and arena cross track. And I remember when I first, because I do that. Well, now I'm actually doing it almost full time now. I'm building tracks for kicker arena cross, but it's the first time I had ever driven a dozer, and I what we call diving it. It's when it keeps diving, like the blade will dive and you'll dig a hole. And he was like, "Listen, dude, you got to just fail. Like you got to just like figure it out." And I was like, it was good to have someone like that because he didn't care. He was like, just burn the diesel up, but figure it out. And that's how a lot of my stuff's been. I remember my dad literally taking my training wheels off one day and saying, just figure it out. And I just rode down the field and fell over, get back on, ride, boom, I fall over and I did, okay. Now I know that I can't lean too much this way or else I'm going to fall over. So it's like that. I feel like I remember telling my mechanic now, back, we've been friends for 7 years, but he just now became my mechanic, which is funny. But I remember I taught him how to ride it, or I was teaching him how to ride a dirt bike, and I told him, I said, don't take this the wrong way, but everybody that races is trying to race needs to fall just a little bit hard. They need to just maybe hit their noggin a little bit, maybe scuff up an elbow,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even break. I hate to say that, but it's so true because then you're like, okay, now I understand. Like the ground, like that. I learned from what happened. Like I didn't, and it's also depends on how you look. If you're not going to look at it as a knowledge moment, then you're not going to get anything out of it. But there's a lot you can learn off just losing and failing. And I don't know, man. I'm stuck on that failure of knowledge. I love that. I love that quote.
Thank you. Thank you, bro. You know what's so crazy about failure is knowledge, man? A lot of people describe failure as knowledge, but never said failure is knowledge. They always say failure is success. Failure is the best teacher. Failure is life. Failure is the process. But not one time have I heard failure is knowledge. When I
No,
start to be cognitive of what everybody was saying, I'm like, hold on, I done something. I done something. They weren't saying the terminology just yet. But at the same time, it gives me room to actually grow and actually develop this name, this brand, because a lot of people don't understand. In order to succeed, you have to fail. In order to grow, you have to hit your noggin a couple times. A couple, you feel me? When I was playing football, you know how many times I got knocked out,
yeah,
bro? So many times I wanted to quit, but I didn't quit because now I know. Okay, if we gonna collide, we gonna collide together. I'm gonna match your strength, you gonna match mine, and now the best man win. The best man win. A lot of things, like you said earlier, you said a lot of people don't know how to lose. I think I made a video or I'm going to make a video. I don't remember. But I thought about that the same exact topic. That a lot of people just know how to win, but when losing come into play, you shot from it because you're not accepted.
Yeah.
We've been losing our whole life. You feel me? I grew up in a single parent household. Well, not losing, not in the
No, I
realm of life.
get what you mean.
But like I grew up in a single parent household. And she raised three boys by herself. When I
Wow.
got cognitive of how much that takes, not only is she providing for herself, she got to provide for three boys, the house, the car, the food. You feel me? It's like so many things to do, but yet at the same time, she made it valid or vital. She made it vital to be supportive of everything that we was doing. Right.
Right.
So and then she got 8 degrees. So as we're growing through life, she got 8 degrees. So she's constantly growing with us. So it's just so much teaching and learning that we go through that we never pay attention to. Because the process is gonna be hard. As you're failing, it's gonna be hard. Because you don't realize why you're failing because this is your first time doing something.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been an entrepreneur. Never. When I started back in August of 2020, and then we went to Texas that April. I
Mm-hmm.
started to cut hair. I seen the opportunity. I was like, damn, okay, I'm in the Marines. Marines like to keep a standard. Okay, I'm gonna take some clippers. You feel? I'm gonna take some clippers. So now I got the demand. No, I got the supply. I just need the demand, and I got it because people need haircuts. I
Right.
wasn't good. Okay, I wasn't good. That's not the point. I seen the opportunity, but I took it, and that's how I was able to get my first batch of shirts, to get my trademark, get all these things in order to be successful. Because in the time when I created Failures Knowledge, the podcast wasn't even in existence.
Mm-hmm.
But now with the brand, I'm doing so much more with it just to bring awareness to it, to show people once you start believing in yourself, this is what happens. You're
Right.
gonna fail. You're gonna bust your ass. You're gonna suffer so much. When it's time for you to grow, now you're ready. Now you're ready to be successful because you haven't done anything yet.
Yeah.
And big, go ahead.
No, you're good. No, I actually like what you said about how your mom she had 8 degrees. That's crazy. I'll call out my sister. Right? I give her crap all the time. So I always think it's never you're never too busy. I don't believe in that. I don't think that you're ever too busy to do something. There's no way that there's not enough time for something. There's not, like, everybody, obviously you got to have your time management. I'm not saying you just do all kinds of stuff, but you're never too busy, like you can always fill your day more. And Kylie, my sister, she'll sometimes come to me and I'm so stressed out, like she'll be stressed out. I got this and I got that. And I'm like, and then I'll tell her, hey, like I need you to do this for me or that I can't. I'm like, okay. And I like to tell her sometimes, like, hey, look, like trust me, if you ever have time to just sit on the couch or and I'll tell this to Garrett and my friends and everybody, uh, if you got time to sit on the couch or if you got time to, sit and think about it, then you've got time to fill up your day with more stuff, like saw this video of Steve Harvey that said there's no point in sleeping in I think he said past 8 a.m. He was like, dude, he was like, if you sleep in past 8 a.m., you're going to waste too much time. He was like, even if you don't have anything to do that day, you legit do not think you have anything to do. If you wake up at 8 or earlier, I promise you, you'll walk out to that garage, you'll see that it's dirty, be like, oh, I need to clean the garage. Or you'll see your truck or oh, I need to get that to the shop. Or he's like, you will always find something to do, but you sleep in all day, you waste your day, or you just sit and chill. It's like you're gonna forget. I mean, like you're not gonna go do anything. So I saw that it was really cool. Because sometimes, heck, dude, there's some days I'll come back from a race, we'll get in at like 1 a.m. and I'll be like, I'll see you guys at noon tomorrow. Like, shoot, I'm staying in. But it's like, man, if I would just I gotta get up a little bit earlier because it's like there is so much more I can do to just better my day. And I can't, sometimes you can't think about it. Like you're like, no, I don't have anything. well, there can be. You know what I mean? You're always able to. So
I agree. I
like,
agree. But go ahead. Go ahead.
no,
My
you're
bad.
good. Go
I
ahead.
was about to say, before we did this podcast, I had I posted another video. You know, and what I came to realize about making time for the things that you want, it's there, bro.
Mhm.
I applaud people that sleep past 8. I'll be trying to do that, bro. I'll be waking up at 7:30, 8 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock. You know, I wake up at these different times. I'm like, I gotta get up. I gotta get up. I wish I could just sit here and not do anything,
Oh
but
yeah, I mean, hard to get your head off that pillow every morning, man.
man, but
Tough.
I know I have to. You
Yeah,
feel me? And that
it,
that mug, whew,
it's tough. I mean, like I saw a I saw a Joe Rogan podcast that said uh, this dude was like, I can't, I'm too. The guy was overweight. Like, I'm too overweight. There's no point in like trying to. That guy, there's no workout that I can do. And he was like, do you get up and go to the fridge every morning? And do you go to the fridge? Do you have enough energy? He was like, yeah. He was like, then why don't you have enough energy to lift a weight, or like do this? And it's like, I like that, I like that a lot because, like I said, you always have more. You always have more in you. There's never a limit. I mean, I really don't think unless you're. I'm not saying like everybody should work yourself into the ground, but there's a racer, the workhorse. His name is Ryan Dungey. He uh
mhm.
he is literally like he's the definition of a workhorse, and I've you'll never see that dude quit. It's like you can never do too much. Like as soon as you think like, oh, there's no way I can do that. It's like, dude, just go and do it. Just like you just like we said, just start. And like sometimes the hardest part is just getting up on that day. Like it's not funny. It's like, dude, the hardest part is just getting up, brushing your teeth, waking up in the day. It's like, dude. Then once you get that, it's like, all right, now we're rolling. Now we're good. Sometimes it's not like that. Sometimes it's like all day you're like, man, I'm dragging. But
I
it's
gotta
those,
do it.
yeah, it's those days that count. Those are the days that really count. Is the days that uh, your bad days are really your best days. Like really truly, because you learn like failure's knowledge. You learn the most off your worst days.
I agree, and it prepares you for opportunities to come. Because my mentors, bro, I'm so thankful for them, bro. I'm so grateful for them. They showing me how to be a business person in real estate, how to have a successful business as you're growing, as you're becoming the person that you're becoming. Bro, I've learned so much working with them because they already established, right? Well, they established it, but they just growing and getting more and more profound with everything that they're doing. Bro, the fact that that he Steve and Mike, that's their names. Steve is on the speeding of property owners, and Mike is on the side of like closing the deals, running the numbers and stuff like that. So they have a strategic system with each other, and they have an understanding. And bro, I'm just learning, I'm listening, I'm growing. And he tell me, he was like, I'm too nice. I was like, what does that mean? He was like, Steve was like, you're too nice. When you're speaking to property owners, there's different people, different tonalities that you have to match. So I'm like, okay. So then I go back to thinking high school. In order for you to become a captain or a star player, you have to put the time behind the scenes. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I started doing now. I started listening to the call, started listening. How did I respond to what they just said? Okay, the confidence coming, but it's still slipping a little bit. Steve will
Sure.
point it out. It's just like constantly hearing the things and then applying the things. Then you going back and hearing it, like, okay, okay,
Right.
that's what he mean. Okay,
Right.
a guy that I really look up to that I've been watching like consecutively over the last few days, Kobe Bryant.
You're Grant. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. What a role model. Don't get much better. That dude is insane. Yeah.
I've been watching videos about other people telling stories about Kobe. Right?
Yeah. Like.
You can boast yourself any way that you want to. But for somebody to say, man, this man was like, do, like,
Mhm.
that is Unreal.
Yeah, he was yeah, almost a little bit overkill, you know? Like that's what I say, man. Yeah, he was nuts. He was a very successful dude. Sad to see that dude go for sure.
I agree. I agree. R.I.P. But that
Yeah,
man is still living with us. I'm still down here because the reputation, not reputation, reputation that he's built within himself. Everybody's gonna always remember Kobe Bryant.
right.
Everybody's gonna remember all his work ethic, how he played the game,
Yeah,
how he handled life. These things that we are doing, they're just preparing us to help the next person that come encounter with us.
yeah. I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, I try and learn. I mean, I think I've watched several of them. I mean, confident, like you mentioned, confidence. Confidence is a big thing. I remember this dude, one of my friends from a while back. He told me, he goes, "Hey man, why don't you, you know, you're not very friendly with the other racers, or you're not really like, you know, I'm friendly off the bike." He was like, "But like when you put your helmet on, you're not very like you're not like." I'm not very nice. I'm not gonna go up to you if I'm racing you and be like, "What's up, dude? You know, how's your mom?" You know, I'm not gonna do that. And it's a confidence thing for me. Like if I if I walk around like I'm Conor McGregor, I feel like I have and I know for a fact I'm gonna do better because I have that. And I'm not saying be that cocky dude. No one likes that guy. No one likes that guy. Still be that same humble guy. But if you're confident in yourself so much, and if you're almost cocky in your mind, and you don't speak it more or less, like, it's so, I guess, healthy for you. I mean, like it's really good because the people that sit there and say, you know, negative thoughts and just say like, um, I don't know, like just dwell on stuff. It's like, dude, that won't work for winning. I mean, that's so walking around even like Conor McGregor, you know, swaying your arms like he does that because he knows, dude. He knows he's the shit, you know. Like he's like, dude, he knows in his own head, and he spits it out fairly often, like way too much, right? But he knows in his head that they're better than he is. He at least thinks that. And most of the time, there's no one in there. No one is better than you know. So
Mm-hmm. And that goes back to what you said about playing the guitar. You was like, it's only just me. He's like, I can't look to the left, look to the right, and actually see my competition there when I'm looking at the mirror, looking at the man in the mirror. Because
mhm.
yesterday, bro, it's ironic. It's ironic. I was listening to Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror, but this one was like the acapella. So it wasn't
Mhm.
the music; it was just his voice. So I'm hearing the words. I'm hearing the words. I'm like, every song, every person that we come encounter with, they give us the keys. They give us the understanding to life. But we're not ready to be receptive to it because we don't understand it. This
Mhm.
There was a different language that he spoke about looking in the man in the mirror and to start with you to change.
Right.
But the song been out for a long time.
Yeah.
You feel me? That goes back to what you said earlier about your pops, Jack, about making songs relatable.
Yeah.
When it's your time to realize what this person is talking about, you gonna hear it, you gonna feel it, you gonna actually see it. Like, okay, look in the mirror, look in the man in the mirror. Like you know the words to the song. But then,
Right.
like as you like really listen to, like, hold on, this is how you change. This is how you grow. This is how you accept what's wrong with you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. There's stuff that my dad to this day says. He goes. He'll tell me. He's like, I just now realized what my dad said. And it's like, you know, he's 40. He's gonna get, but I think he's 47. I don't know. He might be 46.
He just
Uh,
had a birthday. Happy
yeah.
belated.
I don't know if it was 47 or 46. Uh, we'll call it at 50. He's oh, no.
Close to it. Knocking on it.
Right, right. But he told me the other day, he was like, I can't remember what it was, but he was like, man, my dad used to tell me that all the time, and now I just now realized it, you know? And it's so true. Like, you can hear something a million times. Like, sometimes it's so funny. like today, I was watching my TikToks of my racing, and I was like, man, I've watched these videos a million times, but man, I picked out a couple things today. I was talking to my friend Dylan, and I was like, dude, look at this. I was like, I didn't do that. Oh, that's weird. You know, like I don't know why I didn't. It's just like weird. My phone was weird, and I was like, I watched this a million times, and I never saw that.
Mm.
So it's definitely weird. Like the perspective you have on things
Mm-hmm.
uh, changes to even with like a day. Like sometimes you look at it and then you're really mad about it, and you can't even see anything else. You just mad. So it's like, okay, just take that day, look at it tomorrow, look way different. And like you said, you've heard that song a million times, but you listen to it today and you're like, dude, that took, yeah, I just understood it. It just now clicked. And that stuff happens with me all the time about sometimes like the trainers that I've gone to. I'll be riding and being like, I'll figure something out that they've told me for years. And I'll be like, that's why. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
dude, clicked here. Okay, light bulb, like it just now, and now it starts to work. I'm flowing. Now I feel good. And it's like, they've told me that for 10 years. It's like, what the heck, So, yeah, for sure. I mean, sometimes it takes too long. It's irritating. Sometimes it takes too long to
I wouldn't say too long, but I say at the right time,
I,
right? So all
right.
this preparation is
But
getting you prepared.
I want to
Yeah.
understand it right away, is what I mean, I guess. Like, right away, you're like, man, heck, dude, why do I not get that? Sometimes my dad would say when I was little, I remember one thing he used to tell me. He was like, listen, I'm going to tell you this, but I know you're not going to understand it. I know you're not going to understand what I'm saying. I know you won't, but I'm going to tell you it, and you just think about it, and one day you'll understand, like, that I'm telling you this for your own good. Or, even if it's taking, my Xbox away or grounding me or whatever. It's like, hey, just so you know, like, one day you will grow up and you realize, like, oh, my dad took that away, or he did that for a reason. Like, you'll understand it one day. And like you said, right moment.
Man, Jackson, this mug was incredible. Do y'all have wristbands?
I don't have wristbands. No, I don't. I need it, dude.
I seen y'all some.
Dude, I need to get some. I need to get some t-shirts from you, man. I want to get some merch, man. I want to buy some merch from you, dude. I love your stuff. I love
I
that, dude. I wear it all the time, man. I love that stuff.
I don't have it on my website yet. I'm waiting to actually put it recreate the website and then do it. I'm waiting for the right time. Right now is not the time because I'm focused on real estate. But what I can do is send you 'cause I got two different shirts, the black one and the gray one. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm about to grab it. Hold on.
Good, you're good.
All right, so I got two of them. This one, hold on.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Yeah, I like the black. Oh, is that a new back?
Yeah,
Okay, I was about to
yes,
say.
sir.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome, dude. Like it.
And then this one,
I like the yeah. Is that like a cream white or is that white?
it's kind of like cream, lime greenish.
Right, right.
Mm-hmm.
I like it, dude. Heck yeah.
Yes,
That's
sir.
awesome.
And then I just send that to y'all. So I got one segment on the podcast before we end, and it's called Best for Last. So what this segment is that I ask four last questions, but you have to answer them quick with a quick explanation.
Okay, okay.
All right. So
You
the first one is how do you keep your composure?
composure. I guess think everything out. I mean, I don't know. I think I talk to my dad a lot about everything, So I guess I don't know. Think everything and take time on every single decision. I guess.
What are you grateful for?
Oh man, everybody. I mean, really, really family, family, friends, and even like it goes to people that don't even think that they should be. Like. But they, everybody, my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother-in-law, their kid, my mechanic Garrett, everybody, my family and my friends are number one for sure.
Excuse me. What do you regret?
Regret? I'd say I regret not putting in more time towards racing. think I think I could have for sure, and I think it bites me now. I think I should have been at a training facility doing what I should have been doing, and I think I just slacked off because I thought I was going to get burnt out of it, and I think now I look back and I'm like, dang, I should have done that because now 17, I don't necessarily have the time to training facility every single day. Um, and so yeah, I mean, I had the opportunity, I didn't take it, and it sucks. I have to work my butt off to be where I want to be, but you got to move on.
At 1% better, 1% better. And
Sure.
then last question, last but not least, what does failure's knowledge mean to you?
Players knowledge. Man, I don't know. I think it means failure is knowledge. I think that it means that you legitimately have to fail to learn to succeed. There's a million other ways to say that. Like you said, there's a million other ways, but there is no knowledge without that failure. So I think it's for one, it's not being afraid to fail, because like if you're afraid to fail, like you have to fail. I mean, there's no getting around it. Like it sucks because you don't want to, and because failing and losing sucks, dude. I mean, no one wants. I mean, I mean, everybody does. Even the dude that is your everyday Joe, he even knows how it is. It's like, man, it's like everybody understands that. Everybody failure knowledge, and it's a big deal, man. Like it legitimately, like there's no other way to put it better. Is just it is your knowledge, bro. Like you have to. There's no getting around it.
Man, Jackson, bro, this was incredible. This was incredible, man. I've learned so much. I've learned so much from your story, how much you grew, and just me being in your presence, just having this conversation, bro. It was phenomenal. It was
Dude,
phenomenal,
I had a blast. It was super fun. Never
man.
actually done a podcast that I didn't host, so this was super fun.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll do a part.
There's a first for everything.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Like we said, we definitely need to do a part two sometime soon.
I
Maybe
agree.
we'll do a little duo or something.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me know. I can't wait. I can't
For,
wait.
for
Um,
sure.
for everybody in the tooth in, hopefully I got as much value as I got from Jackson. Jackson, before we close, do you have any more closing remarks?
I don't think so, man. I think just watch your stuff, man. I think you're doing a great thing. Honestly, what you're spreading and that positivity is awesome. So I think everybody should stay looking at your page.
Man, thank you, thank you, thank you. Can you hear me? Can you can you hear me?
Yeah, you cut out for a minute.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I had got a
yeah,
notification on man. But Jax, I did hear you, man. I really appreciate you for sure, man. I'm just learning how to be more vulnerable and more open to life. You feel me? For everybody that tuned in, hopefully y'all got value. If y'all haven't hit this arrow yet, make sure you hit it and follow Jackson. You feel me? Follow me and just watch the journey. Watch how he's continuing to develop and grow. We thank y'all. We love y'all. And y'all have a great, fantastic Sunday. All right,
see you,
Jackson.
man. Thank you. Bye.